Men don't just notice heels. They can't look away. And most of them have no idea why. There's something that happens the second a woman walks into a room wearing heels. Something shifts. Heads turn. Conversations pause. And the woman wearing them, she feels it too. But nobody ever really breaks down why this keeps happening. Over and over across every culture, every generation, every corner of the world. So today, that's exactly what we're doing. By the end of this video, you're going to understand something about attraction, psychology, and heels that most people never stop to think about. And if you're a woman who wears heels, or a man who's ever found yourself drawn to someone in them, this is going to make a lot of things make sense. Let's start with something that almost nobody talks about honestly. Most men, when you ask them what they find attractive about a woman, they'll say things like confidence, the way she carries herself, how she walks into a room. And that's real. That's all true. But what a lot of them don't realize is that heels are doing a huge part of that work. Heels are not just shoes. They're not just a fashion choice. They are a physical transformation. When a woman puts on a pair of heels, her entire body changes. Her posture shifts. Her shoulders go back. Her chest lifts slightly. Her hips begin to move differently because the angle of her foot changes the way her whole body has to balance itself as she walks. This is not about trying to look a certain way. This is just basic body mechanics. And men pick up on all of it. Even the ones who don't know anything about fashion. Even the ones who couldn't name a single shoe brand if you ask them. They respond to what they see. And what they see when a woman is in heels is a woman whose body is doing something that the human brain, on a deep level, reads as powerful and attractive. It's not magic. It's not shallow. It's just how we're wired. And the interesting part is that this goes back way further than fashion trends or Instagram or runway shows. Researchers who study human attraction have found that the physical changes heels create in a woman's posture and stride tap into signals that humans have been reading as attractive for thousands of years. Things like an upright posture, a confident walk, the way the body moves when a person feels good about themselves. Heels amplify all of that. They basically take those signals and turn the volume up. So when a man sees a woman in heels and feels drawn to her without fully knowing why, he's not responding to the shoe. He's responding to everything the shoe is doing to the way she exists in that space. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. It's not just about the physical changes. There's a psychological layer to this that runs really deep on both sides. For men, heels trigger something that psychologists call a dominance and elegance contrast. It sounds complicated, but it's actually simple. When something looks both powerful and graceful at the same time, the human brain finds it extremely hard to ignore. Think about it like this. A woman in flat sneakers can be just as beautiful, just as stylish, just as confident. But the way she moves is more grounded, more relaxed, more casual. The moment she puts on a heel, that same woman suddenly looks like she's going somewhere. Like she decided. Like she chose to show up in a specific way. And that intentionality, that sense of decision and presence, reads as incredibly attractive to most men. There's also something called the elevation effect, which is exactly what it sounds like. Height, even just a few extra inches, changes how people are perceived in social situations. Taller people, or people who appear taller, are often seen as more confident, more commanding, more worth paying attention to. When a woman adds 3 or 4 inches through a heel, she steps into a version of that perception. She takes up more visual space in a room. And men, consciously or not, register that. They notice it before they even decide to notice it. On top of all of this, there's the sound. The click of a heel on a hard floor is one of those sounds that can cut through an entire room of noise. It announces someone before they even come into view. And that, right there, is a form of power. A woman in heels doesn't enter quietly. she arrives. And that difference between entering a space and arriving in it is something men feel strongly even if they couldn't explain it to you in words. But let's be real about something, because this video would not be honest if we didn't talk about the other side of this. Not every man is into heels. Not every woman wants to wear them. And attraction is never one size fits all. Some men are more drawn to a relaxed, natural look. Some find confidence most attractive when it shows up in the way a woman speaks or moves regardless of what's on her feet. And that's completely valid. The reason heels have the effect they do for so many men is not because heels themselves are magic. It's because of what they represent and what they create in the person wearing them. If a woman puts on heels and feels uncomfortable, feels unsteady, feels like she's performing for someone else, that feeling comes through. The posture doesn't lift. The walk doesn't shift. The effect simply doesn't happen the same way. But when a woman puts on a pair of heels and genuinely feels herself in them, when she likes the way she looks, when she walks like the ground is lucky to have her on it, that is when everything we've talked about in this video actually happens. The attraction men feel toward women in heels is really, at its core, an attraction to confidence made visible. Heels are just one of the tools that can create that visibility. So what does all of this mean practically? It means heels have always been more than a trend. They've been a language, a way of saying something without speaking. And the men who feel that pull when they see a woman in heels are responding to that language whether they know it or not. The height, the posture, the stride, the sound, the presence. It all adds up to a signal that the human brain has been reading as powerful and desirable for a very long time. And fashion, at its best, is always doing this. It's always taking something about how we feel on the inside and giving it a shape that the rest of the world can see. Heels have been doing that for women for centuries. They've survived every decade, every trend cycle, every moment when people said they were going out of style, because the effect they have never goes out of style. That feeling of walking into a room and knowing you showed up, that never gets old. And neither does the reaction it creates in the people watching. If you've ever wondered why men react the way they do when they see a woman in a great pair of heels, now you know. It's not about the shoe. It was never just about the shoe. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.